Good. Thank you very much for coming in. What we've had to hear today is the launch of one of the most modern equipment in terms of aircraft recovery. It is actually preparedness by Kenya Airports Authority in terms of any incident that may affect any aircraft and will cause delays or closure of the runway. We want to be able, with this equipment now, we will be able to clear the runway faster than any other time before. Within an hour of an incident, we should be able to resume flights and carry on with operations normally. You need to appreciate the fact that at JKIA, we are operating on one runway for all flights, and any incident will always cause various delays, like one we had last Sunday, which caused about 2 hours of disruption. So with the airport recovery equipment, we will be able to respond faster, and we will be able also to sort out any incident that may appear within our airports, within our country, and even in the neighborhood. If they don't have this equipment, we can be able to fly the equipment there, land at the nearest airport from where the incident is, transport the equipment by road, and sort out the issue. So it is an investment that we are proud of as the board of Kenya Airports Authority. We are proud of as Kenya government that we are moving ahead and meeting the international standards as set out by the ICAO.
Can you tell us what the costs is looking like to acquire all of this?
Well, the costs, I need to get to the finance people because we are the board, we approve the purchase. We don't deal with the financials, but it is a worthy cost. We have a training that is yet to be finalized, and then we will release the final payment on Tuesday after we are satisfied that they have trained our staff locally. You have seen that all the staff that have been trained are Kenyan, and more so, most of them are ladies. That is how we are moving in this world, that we are gender sensitive. We appreciate the efforts that our youth have made to train in fire, and we encourage more youth to take up the training of fire. We are not yet at the level whereby we need to employ more firefighters. You've seen me inspecting the Guard of Honor of about 25 of them. We will be training more as we recruit them, so that we are able to meet any disaster. Should it occur, we pray that it doesn't, but should it occur, we want to be very, very prepared.
You mentioned an incident on Sunday. Maybe let's give us a
Yes, an aircraft.
Just sorry to interrupt you. Tell us about the frequency of the incidents that we've had here, and probably an estimate, maybe costs.
Well, on Sunday we had an incident with one of the aircrafts which had a tire burst and had to circle and, of course, empty the fuel tank, and then did an emergency landing. But they landed safely. We commend the pilot. He was very brave, and they landed safely. That incident disrupted services for about 2 hours. On regularity of incidents, you can never tell, because an accident can happen anytime, anywhere. So we cannot, and they are never human generated. It just happens. So we cannot tell you the frequency. When it happens, we need to be prepared.
So just to be clear, you do not have a figure to give to Kenyans today about how much this is going to cost?
I can give it.
Yes, you can give the MDs here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chairman, my name is Martin Mucha from the staff. Probably, maybe you can just let us know, was it a direct procurement or it was a competitive bid? And second, it's a good investment. The conversation around improving the infrastructure and expanding JKIA is still on, despite the exit of Adani. Maybe you can tell us what next, because there have been talks of seeking a sovereign bond, looking towards China. So maybe you can just...
Yeah, we are looking at various options. What I can assure you is that the decision to arrive at how to procure or who to procure from was a competitive bid. And we were dealing directly with the manufacturers, because we didn't go through any agent. We went direct to the manufacturer. They have trained our people in the UK. They have trained them locally here. The last bit of training and the certificates will be issued on Tuesday. So that is something that has happened above board. At KAA, we are now embracing the government directive from the 1st of June. We are going to be digital in our procurement process, so everything is going to be above board. On the issue of development of our facility infrastructure at the airport, we are on course. We will soon be going public to let the members of the public know exactly what we're going to do, and it's going to be a competitive process whereby we're going to have financial partners who are going to take the risk of investing in the infrastructure, or improving infrastructure at the airport. And we believe that whatever decision we will arrive at will be above board. It will be competitive. It will be the best for the best of Kenya, that we improve our facility at the airport. I normally get a lot of messages from people who arrive and say, Chairman, what are you doing? We need to improve our facility. I landed, I waited for my luggage for 1 hour, and we want to reduce the time that people spend at the airport when they are going out and also when they are coming in, and we cannot do that without improving the infrastructure.
I'll mention the final comment, James from the Standard newspaper. You have acquired one for the JKIA. What about the other airports, main airports like Mombasa and Kisumu? If we have an issue like we had on Sunday, do you have to transport the machine there, or what happens?
Yes, if we have an incident, we will have to transport the machine there. You know, aviation accidents are not as regular as road accidents. So it would not be economically viable to have equipment in Mombasa. You have seen what is involved. You can imagine having this equipment in all our airports. We will not have capex to do any other thing, any other infrastructure within the airport. So this equipment for now will serve Kenya and the neighboring countries who will require the equipment should a need arise. But we will be able to transport it either by air or by road.
And final for me, maybe compared to other countries, African countries, is Kenya the first outreaching equipment, or we also have
I think maybe we are the second or third. Maybe South Africa and Addis Ababa have this, and I think also Rwanda have this equipment. But I think we have the most modern equipment as Kenya now.
Maybe just give us an overview of what before this, what was the situation, what did that look like, how did it take you?
Well,
Also, the last question from me would be, what's the hold up with KAA getting a substantive MD? What's taking
well, the situation before has been handled more basically manually in whatever way we could. That is why it has taken us 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, at times even up to 17 hours to clear the runway. With this equipment now, that time will be cut short because we'll be able to do it in a more professional and efficient manner. We are in the process in court. Some group took us to court on the issue of recruitment of a substantive MD. So we'll continue with an MD on acting capacity, but that does not stop operations. We hope the court process will end soon, and then we can reduce and we can recruit an MD competitively. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So we'll just introduce.
Oh, sure.
All right, you can begin by introducing yourself
Yes.
and tell us about the equipment.
Sure.
Tell us what it comprises.
how it works.
Yes, a little bit about that. So my name is Yudi Fishman. I'm the owner and managing director of AMS. We're located in the UK and in California in the USA. All of the equipment you see here came from our UK operation, which services commercial airlines and airports. And I'd like to add, in addition to some of the comments that the chairman made, that what you see here is a complete suite of equipment that could handle any scenario, wide-body jet in the most serious incident. So when you ask, what about the other airports, that complete suite of equipment will live here at JKIA, but most incidents are not requiring everything that you see here. There are a lot of minor incidents as well. And in that case, a kit can very quickly be put together from here, sent out to Mombasa or wherever it's required. This equipment that the KAA made this investment, and you asked about the level of the investment, and it was somewhat in excess of 1 million British pounds. It's a significant investment, okay? It was a competitive process. We had to sharpen our pencil, as we say. We had a worthy competitor, an aggressive competitor. In the end, KAA made the decision to go with us. The same equipment that you see here, the same technology, you will find at JFK Airport, at Atlanta, which is the world's busiest airport in the Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States, the world's busiest
Good. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Out to Mombasa or wherever it's required. This equipment that the KAA made this investment, and you asked about the level of the investment, and it was somewhat in excess of 1 million British pounds. It's a significant investment, okay? It was a competitive process. We had to sharpen our pencil, as we say. We had a worthy competitor, an aggressive competitor. In the end, KAA made the decision to go with us. The same equipment that you see here, the same technology, you will find at JFK Airport, at Atlanta, which is the world's busiest airport in the Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States, the world's busiest airport. Heathrow Airport has this kit. So KAA has joined the ranks of the top airports. Taipei, LAX, all have AMS equipment very similar to what you see here. And KAA has the latest, and we're very proud of that. We're proud to be partners with KAA. The specific jobs that the equipment does, the simplest incidents can involve an aircraft sliding off the runway and into soft ground, into the mud or the dirt. That aircraft has to be pulled out without damaging the aircraft. It has to fly again. So you need some of the sophisticated tools that you see behind me, and you need to monitor the loads, and you need to work closely with the engineers. In this case, the project has integrated the staff of Kenya Air and their engineers, their aircraft engineers, and the KAA staff also has a high degree of competence. And then we have the aviation firefighters. They're also part of the picture. It's a when an incident occurs, you need partners, you need a multi-agency approach. And the other thing to stress is training. We heard today that Kenya is moving forward with a regional rescue and firefighting center for aviation, and that's critical. Firefighters need very specific training and equipment, and we hope that our equipment will also be part of that training effort. And it's not enough to bring the equipment here. Personnel have to train. The training has to be done by Kenyan personnel. We train the trainers, and in this case, it's been an excellent project. It's been very.
Can you clarify the costs
And is that
of the
part of the
equipment
training as well?
and the period of the training?
The training was included in the cost that I mentioned.
How much is the second?
I mentioned it's slightly in excess of 1 million British pounds, the total contract. That includes training in the UK, training in Kenya. It included all of the equipment and our guarantees and warranties for the future.
How long is the training?
So far, the training has been a group of 14 KAA personnel in the UK for a full week. And here we began training on Monday or Tuesday, and it will continue through next Tuesday.
We've trained 45 here.
Okay, so just like when did you begin the engagement with KAA?
2 years ago. Yeah. Well, you know, it's a tender. It's a public procurement. So the process begins with development of a technical specification. And I know our input was accepted. I know there was input from some of our competitors as well. And then a technical specification was published. I don't remember exactly when, perhaps.
It was published in 2023.
Okay.
It started in 2023.
Yeah, apart from the airplane veering off from the runway
Yes.
and the tire issue,
Right.
what are other
Okay, right. Well, the most common is flat tires. One flat tire, usually not a problem, but you can have multiple flat tires, and then you have a bit of a problem. The issue of the excursions we've mentioned, the airplane leaves the runway. Sometimes when it leaves the runway, the landing gear is intact, but at other times there'll be a collapse, usually of the nose gear. The nose gear being the weak link. So a nose gear collapse happens somewhere in a commercial airport about once a week around the world, somewhere. So that's after burst tires, the nose gear the runway excursion, then nose gear collapse. Now you can have more serious also incidents where one or both of the main landing gears collapse, and the airplane is on its belly, it's on the ground. Now you have an airplane that weighs in excess of 100 tons. It can't move, and the other equipment that the airport has on hand, the towing equipment is not suited for this job. So the first job is to lift the aircraft and then to move the aircraft out of the way so it can be repaired. And so it's towing, it's lifting, and it's transporting. Those are the three steps.
What's the name of the farm again?
Of
Of your farm at Blood?
AMS Aircraft Recovery.
You've done other projects in other countries?
Yes, as I mentioned, our equipment is at JFK in New York, Heathrow in London, Taipei in Taiwan, Los Angeles, all over the world. We've been in business since the 1980s, and we're a leading company, and the leading airlines. Delta Airline is a big customer of ours, British Airways, etc. In Africa, we have our equipment now in Nigeria, in Abuja. We have in
Ghana.
In Ghana
Uganda is
was our
flying
right.
currently.
We have also equipment in Uganda, and those are the most recent. Egypt as well, not sub-Saharan, but. Oh yes, please.
No, mine is to thank KAA. That's very key for me. My name is Hezron Arunga. I'm the Managing Director of International Partnership Services East Africa. And we are the partners to AMS from US. We are the ones who have delivered the solution to KAA. And I must say, it has been success. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Do you have a card?
Minimal damage to the aircraft. So for the aircraft owner, that means they wouldn't lose like a part of the nose gear, or the main gear, or the landing gear, or the wing because of the inflatable boots that will actually help the aircraft off the runway, and they'll save minimal damage to the aircraft.
Simply that, so this is to say this is a disaster preparedness.
It is. It definitely is. And being a third in Africa that joins in, it's a big move. Yeah.
So you as KAA, now that you are the board member.
Yes.
So because I happen to have worked here for at least 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So do you think there has been a complaint by the Kenyans that there is so much delay here at the airport when it comes to their bags and their luggage and everything?
Yeah.
So do you think this is the beginning of the new beginning?
This is the beginning of the new beginning, and as we say, we're representing the Association of Air Operators. So the air operators now can breathe a sigh of fresh air, because this is going to ensure on-time performance. So there will be no delays in terms of aircraft disablement or runway incursions, and we hope that doesn't happen. But if any incidents happens, there will be a quick reaction to take care of the situation. Yes, thank you very much.
Hakutakuwa na kuchelewa tena kwa safari za ndege katika angatua ya kimataifa ya JKIA kuanzia sasa na kuelekea mbele, baada ya mbinu mbadala za kusuluhisha changamoto ambazo zimekuwa zikishuhudiwa katika runway za ndege ambazo zimekuwa zikiingia katika angatua hii ya kimataifa ya JKIA. Nikiripotia Mo Radio kutoka katika angatua ya kimataifa ya JKIA jikuu la Nairobi, jina langu ni Ronnie Reagan.
Mo Radio 88.2 FM. We are in charge.
Good. Thank you very much for coming in. What we've had to hear today is the launch of one of the most modern equipment in terms of aircraft recovery. It is